Ah, hi, Yvonne.
Hello, Evie. How are you?
I'm fine. And we're here like recording. Uh, I need to explain myself to everybody there out there. Yeah, we are recording. It's Thursday. We are ready to go live. However, LinkedIn gods do not allow this, and because we don't want to fiddle with it too much until we have it all sorted for next week, we decided isn't flow. Let's record it, upload it in the time that we are supposed to go live, and you'll get the benefit of seeing us once again on time. And from next week, we will be live. I hope. I, I promise.
We hope. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Either way, we'll be there one way or the other, so it's all good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Excellent. Excellent. So here we are. And this week, Permission to Thrive, myth busting, we are focusing on joy, which of course is that's my heart. But this is the Joy Minimiser, and this is our ability, or almost like this thing that we do in negating joy. Like we can't have joy when life is so hard, so tough, and we're going through challenges. It's just like, how can you experience joy when life is challenging? When you look at the world, I mean, there are a lot of things that you know that can eat away at the sense of joy. And I guess really what we want to do is kind of explore some of those phrases that come up, but also really, is joy dependent on the things that we think it is?
That's a very good
I guess.
question.
Because
Yeah,
that ultimately
absolutely.
is the question, is it dependent on, you know, is it just dependent on how much fun I'm having? Is it just dependent on me doing the things that bring me joy? Or is there another quality, another depth to joy that we can experience regardless of those things?
Mm. Well, whenever I hear joy, sorry, jumping in there for some reason, but
No,
you
get in.
paused long enough. um, I, hopefully, I'm not breaking your train of thought. But just a quick thing here. Whenever I hear joy, I always remember Audrey Hepburn. She used to say that joy and happiness have the same relation that the sun and a light at home has.
Mm.
And to me, that has stuck with me. And I think it is very important in the context that we're talking about to clarify that. So, yeah, you're definitely able to explain this much better than me.
But because again, I think for me personally, like joy is a value. It's not, I don't ever think of it as just this thing that I get to experience if I do, or when I say, or if I go. For me, joy it's part of my character. It's part of who I am and has been um throughout my life. So for me, when I think about joy, I know that joy holds me as much as I hold joy, regardless of what I'm going through in life. And and that has always served me well. But here's the thing, and let's just go to one of the phrases is, something happens and then somebody may say, think, feel, oh, it's not a big deal. Something great happens and oh, it's not a big deal. And that for me is like just downplaying joy, whatever that thing is. And actually, joy deserves amplification. Now, why does it deserve amplification? Because when you amplify it, others get to feel it too, right? It pours out, it spills out. Yeah, and I'm going to toot my own horn here because I know sometimes when I've been in the presence of people, they're just like, "Oh my gosh, you're just so joyful." They feel it. It's not just, "Oh, I feel joyful today." They feel it. There's a sensation that goes with it. And if we can do that and uplift others, why would we downplay it? Why would we hold it down or almost like hold it ransom? It's okay for us to celebrate out loud. It's okay to feel that feeling. We seem to have no issues with feeling angry, sad, fed up, exhausted, all the things. And they're all valid too. So why can we not embrace joy in the same way? How does it sit with you, Evie?
No, I believe joy has absolutely nothing to do with anything external for one reason. I mean, maybe people will have different opinions, but that's my own belief. And I believe that because as you said, it is almost like the weather. I don't believe that the weather affects me, positive or negative. The weather is an external thing, and it is what it is. But like, so I believe that I can control the being joyous, and that's the mode I like to be in. And as you very well said, it serves me right. So that's why I do it, and I ask for it, and I want more of it, basically, in my life. But when it comes to downplaying, we have so many examples with our clients, how many things, and not even in our lives, we do things and we think because it is easy for us, or for whatever reason, that everybody does it. So why should I feel happy about it? Also, it is again conditioning about what we have been told that the success is, or when should we celebrate something, and so on and so forth. So when it comes to not only not downplaying playing joy, in a sense, it's like you are retraining yourself to celebrate you, to celebrate all the little things that you do, that as little as they are, they take you where you want to go. So that's the reason why it's important to talk about them, to not downplay them, and as you said very nicely, amplify them, so we can feel that joy, we can feel that echo, and also that can hold us for much longer. And also, if you
Yes.
are in that state of joy as much as possible, then when things become a bit tough, or you're finding yourself in difficult situations, you have somewhere to tap into, and and help yourself get out of those feelings, thoughts faster. That's
Yeah.
how I think about it.
Yeah. And that's really interesting because Sarah posted underneath our Tuesday post about this today. And she said, "Your post reminds me of a phrase I see popping up currently. Show me how good it gets," which I love the phrase. She's helping us to rewire our brain and divert attention away from the negative towards noticing the positive. And then she goes on to say, "Personally, I use it to help me celebrate small wins and bubbles of joy and gratitude throughout the day." And I love that.
Okay.
Little bubbles. These do not have to be massive, extreme things. What are those little bubbles? It could even be, "Oh, somebody made me this cup of tea, and oh, this feels beautiful, or it feels blissful. I'm going to get to spend 5 minutes sat down and just truly enjoy this." That's a moment of joy. I think that we sometimes forget that it's those little things that can bring joy, and that it always has to be something huge. But actually, that opportunity to sit back, sip whatever that drink is, and to truly be with it in that moment, and to not be rushing, so no urgency, you're just being with it. That's a moment of joy. And to be able to notice it because for me, there's a lot here about what we notice and what we don't, is a wonderful thing. So when people say to me, and I have had people say, how do you maintain this sense of joy? I said, it's not, I don't maintain it. I don't go out of my way to maintain it. It's just that I notice the little things in my day. When I wake up in the morning, listen, there's an immediate sense of gratitude because guess what? I got to wake up. So for me, that's an immediate sense of joy for me. I'm here for another day. And I know that the world sometimes makes you want to feel, what is there to be joyful about waking up the next day? But for me, that is a gift because life for me is a gift. And I wrote this little thing that I just wanted to share because it probably sums up how I embrace joy. Because what I've written is that the more wisdom we recognize, and I think that's also important, the more wisdom we recognize, the richer life becomes. Not richer in possessions, in perspective, but richer in perspective, richer in meaning, richer in connection, richer in understanding, and richer in wonder. So, like for me, when I go for a walk, I love to be in wonder of what is happening around me or what is around me. And perhaps more beautiful of all is richer in gratitude. Joy often grows in proportion to what we notice. Because joy is not always found in extraordinary experiences. Sometimes it is found in extraordinary attention. So, what are we paying attention to? And that for me is my thing. Like, I pay attention to things that other people, why would you even notice that? You know? Um, because it brings me joy.
Absolutely. And the thing is that when you're mindful of things that, like those small things in the moment, it serves like a twofold. It's not just the joy that you get, is that you are in the present. And I don't think that anything can bring more joy than actually being and savoring the present, because we tend to live a lot in the past and the future, and we forget what's going on right now. And I think here is one very good moment to say, wow, I'm here, and I really enjoy this particular moment here, being 100% with you, Yvonne, for example, because I do enjoy what we're doing. And there is really nothing to that should take your thoughts away to the past or the future in any moment that you feel that you really want to savor, because otherwise you lost it, and it takes only, I don't know, it's already the future from when I spoke. So there you go.
Indeed, the next moment is the future, right? That's always the way. So I think for those who know that they are often falling into that, it's not a big deal, or it's everyone does it, or whatever that thing is. Serve your soul with a little bit more kindness and be really present to. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It just needs to be that it's happening and you're aware of it. You're noticing it. You're seeing it. You're being with it. That's the joy. That is the joy. And interestingly, I was responding to a post I saw earlier today, and it was to do with birdsong and how it's really good for our nervous system. And it just got me thinking because I often go out and I have this little app called Merlin app, which allows me to, when I put it on, it notices the different birds and it tells you which bird is singing in that moment, the bird song that you're hearing, and it brings you up a little photo so you can recognize it. But you just get to also learn to hear them and start, oh, is that a robin? Oh, is that, you kind of start having this thing. That is a moment of wonder, right? Where everything else falls away. Everything that I'm with in that moment is just the birdsong and appreciating not just the beauty of hearing it, but which bird is singing? Which bird is talking? What's the conversation? And there is just something really beautiful in that. That doesn't mean to say that I haven't got other things that I now that have to be dealt with. That doesn't mean to say that life is smooth and beautiful and wonderful and great. But in that moment, life is special and it's precious. And we can all access those moments. We can, but we have to choose to. And then we
Mm,
have to be in that state of noticing.
yeah, I think that's the key word. You have to choose. And because all these things that you're describing are available to all of us, and they don't need anything but our attention. And if we can spare that moment and pay the attention towards the thing that really um, elevates our emotions, then that's enough. That like automatically brings that sense of like wonder, gratitude, all those things that, in essence, if we put them all together, they can be called joy, right? In so many
Yeah.
ways. And I think that this is the difference. Like I spoke about the difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is something like we are pursuing. We are like in constant trying. Like it's almost conditional in
Mm,
many ways. We're like, oh, I'm going to be happy when, and whatever that when is. But joy, you don't even have to consider it a conditional thing. It's joy is a feeling, is and a gift that you have, and you can gift it to yourself whenever you like, um, because it's natural. It's a sense. So I think that is like easy in that way to separate happiness from joy. And if you feel that, well, what's there to be happy about? And my life is like this, and my life is like that. Blah, 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 blah. That's the moment. You need to remember you have the option to tap into joy and say, okay, let's just be whatever it is. It doesn't matter what is around me. And I think this is amazing. I think this is um
yeah. And you can experience joy and happiness in the same things. I remember having a conversation with a friend, and she was saying about one of the things that brings her joy was like the scent of flowers. She said, I see a flower, I just immediately have to go and smell it. And there's something about that whole scent that just, she goes, but it also makes me feel happy. Great.
that's okay.
So
Yeah.
she gets happiness from it, but the joy is a sensory thing. For me, it's like the essence, and it is an essence that we can all access. But actually, to even access it, we have to notice. We have to notice. And the life that we lead, generally speaking, has become so busy, so urgent, so pressure on, so go go. We don't notice. We don't notice because we're caught up in all this other stuff. And so, my word would be notice, and that takes pausing. So I always say no, pause, notice.
Absolutely.
Pause, notice, because there are things around you that even in the midst of what may feel really heavy, that can still bring you those little glimmers of joy. And they're not to be missed because they energize us. They energize us. And certainly for me, they certainly help me when I have to go through the thicker stuff, the treacly stuff, the stuff that feels like, oh, joy becomes, an energy source to help me go through those things. So let's move on to the other phrase. And this one is others have it worse. So it's almost like you don't have the right to feel joyful because others are having to deal with far worse things. Your take on that, Evie?
Well, once again, it's just about invalidating your own experiences or making sure that, well, whether it is good or bad, whatever goes through or whatever comes in your life, you should discount it because there are exterior things that are like worse, bad, whatever. So I think that once again, this is a very big myth because it does take away from the moment and from what is important to you in this moment. And I think it is also a very big myth because okay, others may have it worse, but that doesn't mean that you need to be in a lower kind of state, because that means that you won't be able to help anybody anyway. So the whole point is to elevate yourself, to be in a state that you can be of service to anyone that might have it worse than you in some ways. Or so, I mean, yeah, I think that's the thing. Otherwise, I'm going to get very, I get very confusing in many respects. So yeah, I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Well, I think that also speaks into, just because you feel joyful, that's not taking away from somebody else's
Yeah,
opportunity to be joyful. You are entitled to feel joy, regardless. That doesn't mean to say that you're ignoring everything else. That doesn't mean to say that you don't care about anything else. But you have this opportunity to experience joy. Take it, welcome it, use it. Again, it's energy. You can use it, like you were saying. If you take it, how how can you serve somebody else with it?
absolutely.
How can you lift somebody else because you can be with it? Let yourself enjoy something fully without having to question whether you deserve it, whether it's right, whether somebody else isn't having it, therefore you shouldn't. It's just welcome joy without guilt. And when we talk about what other people are experiencing, here's the thing. Somebody's in a not good place. And like you were saying, so you almost downgrade what you're feeling because you don't feel that you should feel any better than this other person. How is that helping? Yeah, and it's just a question I want to put out there. How is that helping? How is it helping the other person? And how is it helping you? Just a question. I'm not even going to attempt to answer it. I just want to plant that seed.
Yeah, it's absolutely the case. And also, when you are in that state of mind, it is a state of mind of lack, because at the end of the day, joy, like everything, like it, it can't disappear. There is enough for everyone, and we don't need to worry about like, oh, I can't feel, or I can't be in a specific state because the world is in a different state. I mean, I know in my personal experience, because I am a person that like quite upbeat and stuff, but you know what? I don't watch the news. I don't know if that helps, but it does. I think it does. So I safeguard my state in many respects. I don't necessarily feel that it is a bad thing to do that, because it allows me to be in a good state, in a good energy to do my work, to experience life, to even get through difficulties, because
Mm,
I don't burden myself with things that I cannot control, things I cannot do something about. Because I would be all about, being out there, helping out. If I could, I would be involved. But if
yes.
I can't, There is absolutely no reason to get worked up about it, basically.
Yeah.
And maybe some people will disagree with, my take in life, but this is
It's
my
okay.
own personal way of thinking about it and how I safeguard my own joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't matter. This is the one thing that we absolutely nobody has to agree with anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the whole thing is uncovering for ourselves and what that means for us and how we then show up in the world. And there were two things that I posted under our Tuesday post, and I want to read them both because if somebody hasn't seen it, I think that these are really important points. So one of them says, one lesson I've been sitting with recently, joy does not need to be earned.
Mm.
Sometimes the invitation is simply to let the good moment be good without explaining it away. That's one. And then the other one is joy and gratitude can exist alongside challenge.
Absolutely.
Honoring what is difficult doesn't require us to minimize what is beautiful. Why would we do that? This is happening and this is awful. And so now everything that is beautiful and wonderful now has to go out of the picture. And I often think of this when I look at my phone. I don't have many pictures and stuff saved on my phone other than my grandchildren. If I want to have a moment of joy, I go watch one of the videos of my grandchildren doing their crazy stuff that they do. Not only does it make me laugh, it just feeds my soul. It does make me feel incredibly joyful. That could be in the middle of an absolute headache of a piece of work or something's gone wrong or what have you. I'm not going to miss out on having that experience because this other stuff needs doing. It's not one or the other. They can all exist. And we're not
Absolutely.
letting the world down by having our moments of joy, right? And I think from a human perspective, it's that thing, hate begets hate, love begets love, joy begets joy. What do you want? What do you want to experience? What do you want to hold on to? And that has nothing to do with being ignorant of all that is not great, right, wonderful. It's not about that. But you still get to hold an energy, a source that feeds into the in a much more helpful, productive, supportive, encouraging, beautiful way.
100%. And the thing is that, as you said, this type of feelings are contagious. And the more of us that are like feel this way, the more people around us feel this way. It's like, gifting a smile to anyone out there, they smile back. And it is because it is contagious, isn't it? It is because it is important to see that reflected. Um, and let's do more of that if we can. I think that that
Absolutely.
that that helps not only us but the people around us and even the circumstances. Um,
Yeah.
because when we work from a place of lightness like this, I think even the worst kind of problems and stuff, we are more open to finding more solutions, and we can potentially allow for potential to show up, and or get help or all sorts
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed. And I think that kind of plays into any of the emotions that we experience that kind of fill our cup up, so re-energize us, that rejuvenate us. They tend to be the ones that also help us to find solutions, be more focused, have more clarity, see stuff. If we get stuck in the mud, it's really hard to see anything because you just feet, eyes on the feet, stuck in the mud. When we can tap into something much more energizing, I just feel it helps us to lift our head up and just say, okay, what might I have been missing? And I think that that's really important. And I want to share this because this one made me laugh. Claudia posted, is eating a large piece of cake on the sofa and watching a movie during a normal workday count?
Absolutely, yes.
And I simply said, the question is, did you fully enjoy it? Are you fully enjoying it? Are you being present in that moment? Because if you are, then that's joy, right? You know, who's going to tell you off? She runs her own business. So I mean, it's like, who's going to tell you off? No one.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I think in this happy note, we need to wrap this up so we can upload it on time.
Yes, indeed, in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, again, nothing here is a rule, an instruction, a must do, but it's an opportunity to just reflect. Where am I bringing joy or allowing myself to be joyful, regardless of what is going on around me? Where is that happening? And if it's not, where might you allow it? And I'm going to say to seep in. Doesn't have to be huge. Small little movements in.
Yep, that's it.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for joining us live, or if you have seen the replay, give us your opinions, give us your comments. Let
Yeah.
us know how you feel about this. Let us know if these don't resonate and something else does in that type of different type of wording. Thank you, Yvonne, for joining me once more. And next week we'll be properly live.
We hope.
We hope.
And yeah. And if you have a joyful anything to share, then please post that also, because we want to be joyful in your joy too. Thank you. Thanks, Evie.
Thank you. Bye.